Good morning. Good morning, beautiful. It's a beautiful day. Whoa!
On the horizon, sky is blue, no denying. News with Skyjack Morgan, bright and early new dawn. Every headline, every story, it's your morning, some glory. Stay informed, stay tuned as the day greets new blue. Good morning, headlines with Skyjack Morgan. Start your day just fine. Information for you, darling. With coffee in your cup, news to fill you right up. Plenty weather on the go. Morning show you need to know. Join us on this daily ride.
It's a beautiful day in America. Welcome to America. Welcome to America, everybody. Welcome to America.
Feel the vibe. Sky
It's going to be a beautiful day.
well supplied.
Good morning, headlines. Skyjack Morgan. I hope you're having a beautiful day today.
Information for you, darling.
Yes. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Yes. All right. It's a beautiful day in America. It's a beautiful day to be an American. And I hope you'll be mine. I hope you'll be mine. I hope you'll be my neighbor. I can't believe. So they're all talking about bombing Iran by Saturday. You know, that's the schedule now. We put the boats over there. We don't do that for no reason. We put boats in other countries in front of their shores in order to bomb them. That's why we do it. And also because we are hijacking oil tankers still. We are hijacking any oil tanker we see that we just think might be going to China, which, you know, that's how we started World War II with the Japanese. It's totally normal. We've done this before. We make sure no one else can have the oil. No one else can have the nuclear bombs. Nobody's allowed to have what we got. You understand? No one's allowed to have what we have. Beautiful day to be a Brit. I guess so. I mean, at least in Britain, they are actually holding their pedophiles accountable. They put Andrew behind bars, which makes you think, it gives one hope that perhaps there will be the chance that we'll see Donald Trump behind bars. Do you think America will actually hold our pedophiles accountable? What do you think? Do you think you can have a healthy republic without holding pedophiles accountable? Can we have a healthy republic without holding the powerful responsible for the crimes they commit? I mean, this is the question that it raises. Is the UK a healthier republic than the United States of America? Do you know how many people America has arrested since the Epstein files have come out? 0. A big 0. We've had 0. We're a chomocracy. We're a country run by chomos. Not one has faced the music. Not one. They're putting the monarchy in prison over in the UK. I don't think it's happened since, since King John or something. In my lifetime, I've never heard of one of these monarchs going to prison in any country. I mean, even in the countries where you expect it, like Egypt and shit, where they had the Arab Putsch a while back, the Arab Spring, they called it. They had the Arab Spring a while. None of those guys. Do you think a Saudi Arabian prince is going to jail? No. But Prince Andrew, he gets stripped of. He's not even a prince anymore. They're like, nope, you're just a dude now. I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to say, all right, dude, you're just a dude now. Time to go to jail. And Donald Trump knows that he's going to go to jail if he can't stay in power until he dies. He's got to. This is why I think what's going to happen is, I think from the beginning, I've said this for months, I think Donald Trump will resign. J.D. Vance will pardon him. I think that's always been the plan. I think that's always been the scam. I think that the plan has been I'm not feeling so healthy these days, as you know. I do like to play golf, and I'm healthy as an ox, so when I play golf, I want to play golf. I want to look at Arnold Palmer's schlong in the shower, and whoever he comes around. I love women, but I love being in the shower after the golf. So it ain't going away, says Parallelist. No, this ain't going away. He's not going to jail because I think that J.D. Vance will pardon him. And what does that say about us is the question. What does that say about America? If our president, J.D. Vance, and get used to that, we'll be calling him President Vance for 10 years. When President Vance pardons Donald Trump, what does that say about us? When our president, the one who is in temporary custody of the institution of the presidency, as Ronald Reagan said it, if our president pardons Chomos, did he pardon himself? I don't know. Did he pardon himself? Nixon replayed. Good point. Like Gerald Ford pardoned Nixon so that we can all move on. It's for our own good. This is my favorite line. Like, oh, it's for your own good. That's why we're going door to door beating the shit out of your neighbors. It's for your own good. Trust me, I'm the government. We had to pardon Richard Nixon because it's for your own good. You guys all want to move on, right? I mean, Donald Trump is saying it every day. How come we're not moved on from this? We need to move on. It's time. I was completely exonerated. I didn't even know Prince Andrew. And of course, as you see in my thumbnail today, there are hundreds of pictures of him throughout the years with Prince Andrew. They shared a good friend named Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton. But I never knew the guy, you know. I barely knew Jeffrey who? Jeffrey who? I don't even know. Prince what? Prince what? I never heard of a Prince Andrew. I'm not ringing any bells. Does he have a big schlong? If you told me that, maybe I'd remember. Really, people are asking for evidence against Trump? Yeah, people are asking the evidence. Yeah, the evidence of what? Which crime would you like evidence of? The overwhelming there's a mountain of evidence now. The evidence is so overwhelming, it's blotting out the sun, and people are like, doesn't look like anything to me. They're like the robots in Westworld when they're confronted with stuff they're not supposed to see, and they're just like, the programming just gets the shorts out. Doesn't look like anything to me. Like when they show Bernard the picture of his like his mechanic specification, his specs, his little blueprint of his own body, his own robot body, and he looks at it and he goes, doesn't look like anything to me. Well, Bernard, you're a robot. It's right here. Doesn't look like anything to me. That's how MAGA is. Oh, look, there's overwhelming evidence. We have flight logs putting him in the places where his accusers say he was. We have corroborating evidence. We have photographic evidence. We have evidence based on his co-conspirators emailing each other about the events, putting him in the place, giving him means, motive, and opportunity of the crimes that he's been committed of. We have him admitting the crimes. Doesn't look like anything to me. Doesn't look like anything to me. He runs this like a dictator. That's the thing. He is a dictator. He's a dictator. There's no way around this. This is what he always wanted to be. This was the goal. This was the plan. And he can't get out of the Epstein thing. He just can't do it. We're about to bomb Iran. That's happening. We do not put boats outside of other people's countries unless we're going to bomb them. And I remember every MAGA fool going, we're not going to bomb Venezuela. No way, no how. Donald Trump's against war. And then when he goes and he bombs them, he's just bombing drug dealers. What's the problem? It's just civilians. And then when he's kidnaps their president, they're like, well, it's not really a war because, like they'll tie themselves up into knots trying to tell you that Donald Trump's against war. He's bombed more countries in the first year than any president in the history of America. And they'll be like, he's against killing. He's against war. He's the peace president. As he kidnaps world leaders and and is the first one to bomb Iran at the behest of Israel. We are now Israel's rent-a-cop. But Donald Trump's against it. Donald Trump's against it. You sound like you're a member of the terrorist organization Antifa. It's a terrorist organization? The only terrorist organization I see is the piracy group known as the United States military at this point. The United States is a group of pirates. We're in the Caribbean. Literally, we're pirates of the Caribbean. We're stealing people's boats in the Caribbean so that they can't sell the oil to countries that we don't like. And what are we doing with the oil? We're going to keep it, according to Donald Trump, Pirate King. So who's a terrorist organization? A terrorist, by definition, is a group of people or individuals who attack civilians for political goals. Donald Trump is the only one bombing civilians right now. He's only killing civilians. So far, Donald Trump has only killed civilians. He's killed civilian scientists. He's killed civilian boat people. We don't know what the hell's going on with the boats. Were they drug dealers? He says they were, but they might as well have been fishermen. He's bombed oil tankers. He shot those people. Those are civilians. Let's see. Who else? The only non-civilian he's actually gone up against is Maduro and like his little crew. That's it. Other than that, he's killed civilians. That's a terrorist by definition. Antifa, I forgot about Alex Preddy and Renee Good and the other 34 people he's killed in the bloodiest years since ICE was a thing. Since ICE became a thing, 2025 is the bloodiest year. We've had more shootouts between civilians and federal agents than any time in the history of America. That's terrorism. That is tyranny. It's worse than terrorism. Antifa, they just don't like fascists. So, they say, their government's not going to come out and say, hello, we're fascists. They're going to come out and say, hey, it's against the law to be against fascism. And idiots like this fool will go, you sound like you're in the terrorist Antifa. Yeah, Antifa is an acronym for anti-fascist. And so, yeah, if the shoe fits, I'll wear it. I am Antifa. Come and get me. I've been waiting for the black bag over my head for a long time. That's why I keep a gun right here. I'm not allowed to show it on YouTube. I get banned. They take it down immediately. I'm not allowed to show it. But it's right here. Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get black bagged to someplace. Antifa are fascists. Yes, what's up is down, what's left is right, what's black is white. 100. Totally. Yeah. A fascist is a type of government. It's a type of power structure. How could Antifa be fascist? You fucking moron. I actually made a whole video about fascism and how Donald Trump and MAGA check all the 14 markers of fascism. You should look it up. It's on this channel. MAGA's 14 points of fascism and how Trump checks every box. Check it out. You would love it. You love these police, these jackbooted thugs, these hall monitors, all these snitches. This country turned from a country of rebels and revolutionaries to a country of simps, suckers, losers, bootlickers, hall monitors. My God, a bunch of brown nosers this country's become. I am embarrassed. I love this country, and I wish that it was the way it was. Make America not such a bunch of fucking simps again. Make America a revolution again. God damn. If we live in a fascist state, would we be allowed to talk like this? Yes, actually, fascism is not something that happens overnight, my friend. Fascism happens in little increments. We're in the beginning of it. You see, we are right there when they're, making sure that Stephen Colbert isn't allowed to interview people they're afraid of politically. They're limiting freedom of speech already. They're not going to come out of small potatoes like me. I'm a nobody. I'm just some stupid YouTuber. You don't think they're doing this with people like Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert, of course, they're silencing them. I work for a radio station in Houston, and that radio station is listener supported. And the FCC is always on our shit about every little thing. We're not allowed to have a call to action. We're not allowed to say anything that might sound a little bit like an advertisement. But the right-wing stations that are also listener supported, they're running full-on ads, full-on commercials against the law, and no one's doing anything about it. But the FCC is totally on the backs of anybody saying this, anything that is questions the government. If you're not pro-government, you are a terrorist, apparently. Yeah. That's it. Ah, man. Okay, so that's the thing. You're full of crap. You're full crap. You're full crap of and more. Man, I love you, illiterate magtards. Man, you guys are fun. Connie Caros. Wow. I'm assuming that English is not your first language, so I'm going to be really nice to you. But goddamn, like, proofread your if you're going to insult me, like, proofread your comment, please. You're full crap of and more. Holy shit. Like, take your pills. Are you having a stroke? Someone call for help for Connie Caros, please. You can't even spell your. It's an embarrassment. Make America literate again. That would be really good. Yesterday, I went to a book club. It was really good. And we talked about, book stuff. It was great. You should try it. Join a book club, Connie. Maybe you'll learn how to read. Yep, my GF was present during a presentation by a Holocaust survivor who said fascism was incremental. Yes, co-sider. I lived in Germany for a long time, and I was fortunate. I was blessed. I worked with people who survived the Holocaust, and I worked with people who survived just the Nazi occupation. And let me tell you, it was eye-opening working with those older folks, because even back then they were older. For me, I was pretty young. And yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. And they talked about how their parents were like, yeah, they were gung-ho about it in the beginning. And then they're like, oh, shit. And it's the same thing that's happening now. You have a bunch of idiots that are like, yeah, get the immigrants, get the scapegoats. And then you realize, oh, crap. We're having to show ID to cross the street, to get on the train, to go anywhere. Oh, crap. I can't get on an airplane without an ID and all these passports and all these different other paperwork. Oh, crap, I looked at the Gestapo the wrong way, and now my wife is being raped in the street, and she's in a concentration camp, but I'm not a Jew. What happened? That's how it goes, man. First they come for the blah, 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 then they come for the you-know-whos, and then they come for the what's-its, and then they come for you, and there's nothing you could do because no one's there to help you. And you didn't do anything for all those other folks. That's the way it is in America now. We're a bunch of hall monitors and simps. No one stands up for anybody. No one knows their neighbor. And, no community. But we're building community here. We're building dignity-based resistance right here, right now. Keep it going. Keep it strong. Don't let the bastards grind you down. What's a book club? What's a book? Exactly. I decided because of this idea, I walk the walk, I talk the talk. I decided because anarchist calisthenics is about building community. So every Saturday, I sit in front of my house. I open the garage, and I sit and I read. And people come by and they talk to me. And now I'm involved in 2 different book clubs because I want to build community. And we start talking about stuff. I want to build mutual defense. So I'm also creating a gun club in my neighborhood so that we go to the range, we shoot at targets, we get good, and we have a tacit agreement that if something pops off, we have each other's back. We defend each other. Everyone in the neighborhood who has guns and knows how to use them should know each other so we know who's on our side if the bad guys come. You know who the bad guys are. Those bad guys. It's always the same bad guys. It's always the same bad guys in an oppressive regime. And if they come, well, my little neighborhood, I want to have, well, we're not going easy. That's all. Build community. That's how it is. Mag turds can't even spell fascism. No, they cannot. They cannot. Speaking of community, thank you for the gifted subs. Radio Parlesque, you're incredible. Thank you to all our channel members. Channel members are the best. Sky City Rebels, we are building a dignity-based resistance right here on YouTube.
I don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, Daddy.
A rebel. Bad guys, yes, bad guys. You know who the bad guys are? It's always the same bad guys. It's always, who is it? It's the Nazis. I don't want any. Thank you. Go away, please. We're not going away. Please just go away, Nazis. We don't come in here, please, Nazis. That's the bad guys. They're always at the door. That's the thing about Nazis. You always have to be right, ready, and able to defend yourself. You have to prepare your mind so that you don't fall for their propaganda. You have to prepare your spirit so you don't fall for their, aggression. Thank you for being here. Illegitimate non-carborundum. This is the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. My name is Skyjack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator and a free speech and critical thinking advocate. I did that Nazi. The Nazis are always coming. It's always coming. That's it. Here we go. Another person talking about IQ and cannot spell your. Kamal dim-witted was president. See what I mean? Imagine. Look at this person can't even spell imagine. And they're calling me low IQ. This is what's so funny. Every time you hear a MAGA moron say low IQ, they're just trying to be racist because that's like a racist dog whistle thing. The IQ test was invented to try to separate the races, and they fall for it. So you're spelled incorrectly, a clown. You're spelled correctly. So low IQ, imagine with an E, Kamal, dim-witted, which is supposed to be hyphenated, dim-witted, was president. You see what I mean? God damn, you guys are an embarrassment. You're embarrassment. You're an embarrassment, MAGA. You're an embarrassment. You make this country the worst country ever. We used to be at least have some aspirational ideas of what America could be until you guys came around. The Nazi party, the cancer that ate America, MAGA. My God, you illiterate messes. My God, you stick sucking, ball licking fucking magtards. Oh my God. You embarrass me. You embarrass us all. You made America a laughingstock. The whole world is laughing at us because of you. You silly rubes and hayseeds, so easily taken in by a New York con man. A New York con man. Look at all the gold I have. I must be the right guy. You know, must be me. I'm your retribution. Only I can be your salvation. Listen, man, your salvation's never going to come by some guy decking everything out in gold. Sorry. I saw the Melania movie. If that's your team, if those are your folks, you're a sucker. You're just another rube falling for a carpetbagger. You sucker. Learn your history. My God. Just another New York con man mark.
Senator Durbin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Beer, I'm impressed by your analysis and your presentation, and I thank all the members of the panel for their presentation. But I'd like to follow up with a question or two. Big, bold, beautiful bill, President's budget, approved 18,500.
It's the big, big, beautiful bill. You're going to love it. You're going to love my big, big, beautiful bill. Bubba, I blew him. He was a big, beautiful bill. He was so big. He was so beautiful. And his name was Bill. I loved him.
100 new agents, ICE agents, 10,000, 8,500 CPB agents. I believe that Secretary Noem has identified.
There you go. Don't know what a carpetbagger is? Okay, I'll tell you what a carpetbagger is. See, once upon a time, it used to be you had to go to New York City in order to get ripped off by New Yorkers. But then these other guys during the Southern Reconstruction, they decided, hey, we're going to go down to the South and we're going to pretend like we're one of them. And we're going to take all these stupid Southerners and we're going to take advantage of them with a bag made out of carpet. They called them carpetbaggers. Yeah, carpetbaggers. People from other places that come and take advantage of you stupid hayseeds. My God. It used to be you had to go to New York to meet the guy in Times Square who had like the fake Rolexes. He'd open this, he'd be like, hey, you want a Rolex? Look at this. I got a Rolex here. And the first time I was in New York, I couldn't believe it's real. I saw it in the movies. It's probably still a thing. Hey, you got a Rolex, huh? You want a fake Rolex? And they're like, oh, no, it's 100% legitimate. It's a real Rolex. And that ain't a Rolex, buddy. Donald Trump is selling fake watches. The world's greatest watches.com. World's greatest watches.com, Donald Trump. And it's got his name on it. And he's selling it to you stupid Southerners. Just taking your money. Just taking your money. You're handing it to him. He's not taking it. You're giving it to him. You're such a sucker. My God. Holy shit. We have a president selling fake watches on the internet. And perfume and golden sneakers. And you're like, seems legit. Seems legit. A Bible. Seems legit. Seems like a real good guy. Real classy, top 1A. Just a real classic guy. I can't wait till he brings Trump steaks back.
By their training period to be 47 days as a tribute to the president, the 47th.
He's a smart businessman.
When I talk to police chiefs and mayors back home, they say you can't.
You know, he's a con man. He's always been a con man. Marco Rubio called him America's greatest con man. And then he realized all of you guys are so goddamn stupid, he doesn't have a chance, so Marco Rubio joined. That's what happened. You realize Marco Rubio was like, you guys aren't going to vote for this con man, are you? You guys aren't so stupid to vote for this asshole, are you? Oh my God, you are? Like Marco Rubio, he had his whole world crushed. Like he believed in the American dream. And now Marco Rubio is just like, well, the American dream, no. Most Americans think that Donald Trump's just a good businessman. So I'm just going to settle for being allowed to bomb Cuba. And I'm going to serve this president, this con man, for as long as it takes for me to bomb Cuba. Please, Mr. President, can we bomb Cuba? That's what Marco Rubio, that's what's going through his head now. Because all of you, he actually had faith in America, and that's been crushed. As Marco Rubio thought there was no way all of you stupid rubes would vote for Donald Trump. No way would you be so goddamn stupid to be taken in by this bamboozle. After January 6th? No way are you idiots going to vote for him. After he admitted to wanting to fuck his daughter? No way you guys aren't going to vote for this guy, right? No way. No way. After he said that his age limit was 13 and that he wouldn't go under that? After he admitted to breaking into teenagers' dressing rooms so he could look at their naked bodies? After he got convicted of rape with the E. Jean Carroll? After he got convicted of 34 felony counts of fraud? After he got caught paying off a prostitute so that she wouldn't tell anybody about the fact that he used and he did it with campaign money? After that, after the Epstein thing came out and we knew he was on the plane, when he said he wasn't, that he didn't even know Jeffrey Epstein. After all that, there's no way you guys are going to vote for him. No way. That's impossible. Marco Rubio literally thought that he'd just get up there and be like, look, you guys know he's a con man, right? Like, we're all seeing this, right? Nope, we weren't all seeing it. There are plenty of people who still don't see it. About 26% of Americans still don't see that this guy is a snake oil salesman. Like, I see someone saying shit about Kamala Harris. Are you fucking kidding me? Kamala Harris sucked. But you know what? I've got slugs in my garden eating my tomatoes right now that would have been better presidents than Donald Trump. That would have been more qualified than Donald. I've got slugs in the fucking garden that are more qualified to be president of the United States than Donald J. Trump. They probably love America more than Donald Trump. The slugs love America more than Donald Trump. Donald Trump hates America. He hates children. He hates women. He hates you. You're just a stupid rube. He knows you're stupid because he's going to sell you a watch that don't work. He's going to sell you crypto. Holy shit, crypto was invented for people like Donald Trump. Holy shit. Can I scam you with it? Yes, Donald, you can scam the fuck out of people with it. I'm in it. I'm into it. Let me do it. I can't wait. Holy shit. The guy cheats at golfing. Like, you'd think that even that, he cheats at golfing. I don't know it. I always win at golf. I don't know. I'm just the best golfer. I'm 80 years old, but I'm still the best. I'm the best golfer. Nobody can beat me. It's amazing. And then they got video of him cheating. And you're all like, he's just a good player. He does whatever it takes to win. Okay. Well, if that's a republic that we're not holding cheaters and liars accountable, That's not a healthy republic. You ruined it. You ruined America, MAGA. Congratulations.
Prepare an officer for contact with the public in that shorter period of time. Do you have any thoughts on this subject?
Oh, absolutely. It is reprehensible that they're cutting back on training at a time when they're asking officers to do things that even long experienced officers have not had to do, conduct random traffic stops, do crowd control, all of these things, profiling people in the street, all of these things that were never done by Immigration and Customs Enforcement before is now being done as a mandatory policy. So there should be more training rather than less when you're asking more from your officers.
And so the question in my mind is, what are they going to do with all of these people as they're learning on the job with weapons in their hands, wearing masks so they can't be identified? It's speculation in Washington about detention facilities. How many there will be? 8, 9? I've heard 15 detention facilities. Our present Bureau of Prisons population is around 160,000. We have more people in jail than any country on earth. More people in jail than any country on earth. And now we're going to build detention facilities that house another 150,000.
Yeah. You ever wonder why? Now, for a year now, I've been telling you that if you want to put 15 million people and you want to process them and deport them, you're going to have to build concentration camps. And all of MAGA was like, no, you're crazy. You have TDS. Oh, my God. We're not going to build concentration camps. Why are you saying that? We would never. And now they're building concentration camps. And everyone's like, well, they're not really concentration camps. They're just massive mega warehouses where we're going to store women and children and the other politically vulnerable and those who are politically inconvenient. We aren't building concentration camps. Okay, they kind of starting to look like concentration camps. Oh, shit. No, we're not going to do that. This is America. We're just going to deport them. Remember all the idiots saying, we're just going to deport them? We're not deporting them. We're building concentration camps so that we can keep them as labor, and we're going to use them as free labor for mostly agriculture, but also all of the beautiful factories that they're all going to bring. We're bringing factories back to America. The tariffs are working. We're going to bring tariffs back. Tariffs were coming back. We're going to bring back the factories over here. Who's going to work the factories? Don't worry about that. I got a plan. We're going to kidnap. Get this. We're going to kidnap the women and children. We're going to murder them. And then we're going to take the men and we're going to use them in the factories. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to make America slavery again.
Visualize, if you will, the America that they're designing for us in the future with those parameters.
Look, they're clearly not concerned about the welfare of the people that they're arresting. I mean, they are detaining American citizens even and putting them in these facilities and not giving them access to attorneys.
4,400 American citizens last year? Ooh.
They're not letting them make phone calls, and then they're often released without charges, but that doesn't make the wrong correct. And so now when you're going to have this huge bureaucracy of people pulling people off the street and shoveling them into warehouses where they're essentially black boxes. Lawyers can't get in, there's no oversight, there's very little due process, and the due process that there is, they're constantly attacking and trying to remove it. So you need greater oversight, you need greater protection, but they're not putting any of the money into oversight and accountability for these facilities.
So the president's been very clear what his goal is, hasn't he? He's told us he's going after murderers, rapists, terrorists.
He also said that he doesn't know Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell or Prince Andrew. Everything that Donald Trump says is a lie. If he says he's going after murderers and rapists and all that, it's a fucking lie. It's not true. He's going after little ladies that sell tacos under the overpass in the barrio. He's not going after the bad hombres. Aren't you afraid? Lake and Riley. Have you heard of Lake and Riley? Lake and Riley. Don't forget about Lake and Riley. Lake and Riley. It's like their magic little... They have all of these thought-limiting cliches, which is a classic cult tactic, right? They say something and it shuts you up. It keeps you from thinking any further, from asking any questions. And so Lake and Riley is like one of those. They'll just like, hey, do you think we should... Lake and Riley, okay? Lake and Riley. Or the Dow Jones is up 50,000. Haven't you heard about the Dow Jones? Or you're questioning the president? You must have TDS. No, I'm American. You're supposed to question the president. The people who are very un-American are the ones who are following orders. The ones who follow orders are the Nazis, the goose steppers. They are the ones who are un-American. America was founded on questioning the bosses, not doing what you're told, rebelling, pushing back, resisting, tarring and feathering anyone who collaborates with anyone who calls themselves a king. If you are another snitch, then you could be tarred and feathered. That's America. Not this hall monitor culture we're living in all of a sudden. Oh my God, I just love him. God bless the king. God bless him. God save the king. We should change the, Let Freedom Ring. Let Freedom Ring is a song that we stole from the English. It's God Save the King. We stole that song and we made it Let Freedom Ring. They say God Save the King. We should just change it back. We are basically 18th century England now. Let's change it back. We're bringing slavery back. We're bringing the monarchy back. We're bringing child molestation and child labor back. That's what he meant when he said make America great again. Bringing slavery, child labor, and and the monarchy back. Make America great again. You didn't realize he meant 18th century America.
Criminally insane, childhood predators, the worst of the worst, he says.
Worst of the worst.
If you look at all the people that they booked into these facilities, just 5% in the most recent available data had violent criminal convictions of any kind.
5%.
1 out of 20.
One out of
20 fits that category.
Yep.
So you got 19 people that are not culpable, not liable, not criminally responsible in any way, and they are the ones who are being swept up in this detention.
Even more tellingly, the administration itself assigns a threat level to each detainee. And we can look at, in the data, how they categorize these people. Just 8% are categorized at the highest threat level, and 73% are not given a threat level at all, deemed not a threat. And so you look at what they're actually saying in their own administrative records. They don't believe these people are threats either. And they don't care, because it's not about public safety. It's about the population purge. And it by all means necessary. It doesn't matter.
They say population purge, except they're not purging them. They're not actually moving them anywhere except for concentration camps. The 13th Amendment allows slavery as long as we call you a criminal and a prisoner. If you can do those things, and for some reason they're not getting their due process, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because, the Fifth Amendment is for all people, not just citizens. But listen, the 13th Amendment we're going to use as the loophole to allow people that we call criminals as slaves. Already, they pay ICE detainees $1 a day to work. They're already doing it. They're leasing human beings out to corporations, and they're paying them $1 a day. What would you call that if not slavery? This is it. This is it, boys. Slavery's back. It never went away. In California, they tried to outlaw slavery here, and it didn't pass. It didn't pass. All those liberals in California voted for slavery. Turns out Americans, we're not against slavery. We're only against certain kinds of slavery that look bad. Most slavery we're totally okay with.
They don't care if kids become productive adults and live safe, prosperous lives, as long as those kids grow up to become agitators as adults and vote Democrat, of course. So It's never really about exposing injustice.
Vote Democrat, of course. Look at this lady with her. She's got the Ash Wednesday. Laura Ingram's got the Ash Wednesday smudge on her head. Do you think she got? I'm really curious how that works over at Fox News. I saw a lot of them. I mean, God, I don't want to get into religion today, but my God, all these people with their fucking mumbo jumbo. When I was a kid, they used to put that shit on my head. Oh my God, you go to the priest and they put that shit on your head and you're like, look, am I like everybody else? Do I fit in? My God. Oh, Bartleby, oh, humanity. Put the smudge on my head. And so what, did Laura Ingraham get the cross of ash on her head and then go to work and then get the makeup put on? And then did she go, okay, don't mess with the smudge. You could put all the makeup on my face for TV, but don't touch the smudge? Or do you think that they had a priest on staff that day that touched up people's smudges so that they could signal to all of us how virtuous they are? Look how Catholic she is. She's got the smudge on her head. She wouldn't molest any children. She's Catholic. We don't do anything bad when we're Catholic. Catholics are great. This lady ain't Catholic. This lady's about as Catholic as Osama bin Laden, but she's got the smudge on her head. Laura Ingraham. Yeah, she's real Catholic. Real Catholic, promoting the death penalty every day on the news. Real Catholic, talking about how Donald Trump, it's totally okay to screw over your neighbors and murder children. Real Catholic, totally super Catholic Laura Ingraham. Well, she's got the smudge on her head, though, so she must be. Here she is talking about how children, how many people have Donald Trump, how many children has Donald Trump killed this year, his first year of presidency? Some people say 15 million. 15 million. That's a lot of kids, Donnie. That's a lot of kids, Laura Ingraham. But yeah, it's the Democrats that are doing something.
So much as it is about raw power. But when Donald Trump sees injustice, he actually acts to correct it in settling global conflicts, in supporting middle-class Americans who've been left behind by both parties, in supporting persecuted Christians as far off as Nigeria. And, of course, right here at home with criminal justice reform, restoring freedom to those who have done plenty of time for their offenses.
President Donald Trump brought me from the prison pit to the White House.
Don't worry, he's from the prison pit. I mean, you visit the darkness. I was born here. You are in the darkness, Mr. Wayne. I was born in the darkness. Bruce Wayne and Commissioner Gordon are lovers.
Only in America could there be a story like my story. And President Trump is the only president who would have had the courage to bring someone like me, someone who received a second chance, but who knows more than someone who has sit among the captives, than someone who has been in captivity themselves.
Today, in an event to commemorate Black History Month, Alice Johnson, one of the formerly incarcerated, freed under President Trump's first.
Why does Laura Ingram's cross look like it's upside down? It looks like they did it on purpose. She got the upside down cross on her forehead. I think that's a little weird.
Step back was one of several invited guests whose words the hate Trump media types prefer to ignore. For Lesia Cook lost her 22-year-old grandson to a murder back in 2017, and she shattered the left's toxic stereotype today.
I love him. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about that racist stuff. And don't be looking at me on the news, hating on me because I'm standing up for somebody that deserves to be standing up for. Get off the man's back. Let him do his job. He's doing the right thing. Back up off of him. And grandma.
Back up off of him. He's doing the right thing. Donald Trump, look at him. He's like, you useful idiot. I got him again. The blacks love me. They love me. They do. They just love me. I don't know why.
Say it.
Remember when Donald Trump said that black people love him because of his sneakers?
I loved her. Incredible. Think of the heartbreak she's gone through. And President Trump can do, criminal justice reform, fairness, and sentencing, and also be tough as nails on truly violent, heinous criminals.
Oh, yes.
Now, why? Because he cares about people.
You could do both. Yes, lower the how long people have to be, the minimum sentencing, but you can also be tough as nails. Tough as nails. Donald Trump is tough as nails on crime. That's why all these Epstein violators, all these people in the Epstein files are facing charges right now because of Donald Trump. 0 have been charged.
And unlike Democrats who want to keep minorities dependent on the government, Trump enacts policies to spread prosperity to all the people.
As a small business owner, I understand how critical support is. I understand that you have to have the right people that make the right policy.
Like, that type of propaganda is so rich. The Democrats want minorities to be dependent on the government. Well, as you know, I don't think anyone should be dependent on the government. You should be fighting all the time and not be dependent on them whatsoever because they're not coming to save you. But Donald Trump only wants one group of people dependent on the government, and that's the Epstein class, the Trumpstein class, the lazy class, the ones who contribute nothing. They want them getting the biggest piece of the pie while you get the littlest. Well, you sell your labor at the lowest price possible. They will hoard all the wealth and fly around in private jets and eat caviar out of golden eggs. I saw them eating caviar out of golden eggs, fish eggs out of a golden chicken egg on the Melania movie. I went to go see that Melania. Woo! It's eye-opening how disgusting these people truly are. If this entire empire fell and the only artifact left was the Melania movie to show what kind of society we were, everyone would say they deserved it. They deserved it. We all deserve to die because Donald Trump and Melania live like they do. All of us deserve it. We allowed it to happen. If if aliens came down and the only thing they had, the only evidence they had of our society was the Melania DVD, Melania on Blu-ray, and they were somehow able to watch it, they would say, well, this wasteland, they deserved it. 100%.
For us as small business owners. So no tax on tips has been an extreme blessing for me and my business. President Trump has been an amazing blessing for me. Thank you.
How do the Democrats answer this? Who knows? Because all they have is hate.
Donald Trump is the most hateful human being on planet Earth, and Laura Ingraham with her cross on her head. Oh my God, you guys fall for this propaganda? Are you serious? Like, I really want to show people how to be media literate, but my God, are you that illiterate that you watch Laura Ingraham with the cross smudge on her head and go, yeah, this lady's telling me the truth. This is it. Donald Trump, no hate at all. No, not a hateful bone in his body. It's this old lady, Elizabeth Warren. God damn, Elizabeth Warren. What year was this? 2016. So the Democrats are full of hate. Let's go back to 2016, an election year where people are generally more vitriolic than other times. 10 years ago. Let's see what they dug up on Elizabeth Warren from 10 years ago.
He is a thin-skinned racist bully.
He has been racist.
There has never been a president in American history who's been so openly racist.
Racist and cheap.
I mean, that's true. He's racist. Like, no way around it. Donald Trump is racist. Here we go. Here's January 13, 2021.
The president oftentimes
racist in chief
to very bigoted, xenophobic, Islamophobic, racist.
He's racist. Yep.
No one really believes that.
Everyone knows this to be true. Donald Trump took out a full-page ad against black people saying that they should be murdered because they did the Central Park 5 crime. It turns out they were entirely innocent. Now, Donald Trump, can you imagine a world where 5 white boys were accused of killing someone in Central Park and Donald Trump took out a full-page ad to say bring back the death penalty so we can kill them? I mean, can you imagine that world where 5 white people were accused of a crime and Donald Trump said murder them? I don't think so. I don't think that that's a thing. I don't think that would ever be a possible outcome. No. Donald Trump and his father were tried they were sued, they were tried. There were lots of bad shit for not renting to black people of means. Like, what are you talking about? Donald Trump hates black people. Donald Trump hates minorities unless they're rich. Then he loves them. Like, he hates Muslims unless they're rich. Then he loves them. Mohammed bin Salman, big fan because he's rich. If you got money, that's the thing. He hates gays unless you're Scott Bessent and you're a billionaire. Then he loves you. That's always how it's been. The politically vulnerable are the scapegoats. Do I think that he's like sitting there up at night like, oh, I hate him, like he's like the KKK? No. He just knows who's useful to his power and who can be used as cannon fodder and who could be used to bring him up. That's it. It's pretty simple. It just happens to be that there's more rich white people than rich black people. So, of course, it's going to look like he likes white people more than black people. There's more rich white people.
I don't think even most of those people believe what they were saying. And as voice after voice was heard today at the White House, and after President Trump praised the civil rights work of the late Jesse Jackson, what does the media say to this?
All right, we are listening to...
Do you remember when they said that Martin Luther King Jr. would have been a Republican on Fox News?
Ben Carson there at the White House during Black History Month as the president had some very warm words for Jesse Jackson. We are going to get in a quick break and we'll be right back.
And have everybody with skin.
Oh my God. Look, I don't want to be too negative. Let's look at the bright side. At least CNN
Play the warm words that he said about Jesse Jackson. I'd love to see him.
covered some of the event at the White House today. It's progress. But the bottom line is this. Stunts.
He didn't play. Of course, there were no warm words about Jesse Jackson. Donald Trump did not like Jesse Jackson.
Protests. Fake
Jesse
outrage,
Jackson did not like Donald Trump.
propaganda in our schools, phony racism accusations. None of it, I mean, not one bit of it helps Black America. In fact, it keeps all Americans trapped and at each other's throats. But what does help Black and all Americans?
Well, I mean, the Democrats aren't going to help The Democrats suck too. It's just that the Democrats aren't quite so bad. The Democrats are horrible. I mean, if you think the Democrats are going to save you, it's so funny because if you say something bad about Democrats, then they'll be like, well, that's Republicans are so great if you say anything bad about Democrats. But if you say anything bad about Republicans, they say, well, the Democrats, they're not going to help you either, so we have to deal with the really bad shit that the Republicans are doing. It's fucking insane because, yes, I can admit that they're both bad. I'm not going to vote for Democrats or Republicans. I'm probably never going to vote for another Democrat for the rest of my life. I find it very unlikely. But Republicans, I'm not going to vote for Nazis. I'll tell you that. I'd rather throw away my vote. I'd rather throw it to Mickey Mouse. I'd rather vote for Bad Bunny. I might write in, but you can write in, I'm going to write in Bad Bunny. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'm going to vote for Bad Bunny this year. I'm going to vote for, are there any, I'm going to vote for, there's nobody I would vote for. There's no one I would vote for president right now.
Americans, a tight border, safe streets, immigration enforcement, a growing economy, and more U.S. manufacturing, safety and prosperity for everyone, regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity, everyone who plays by the rules.
Plays by the rules. Like Donald Trump? Does Donald Trump play by the rules? Because every time I point out all the rules that he breaks, everyone tells me he's just a good businessman. But if you're poor and you don't follow the rules, well, then hang that person, right? That's always what the Republicans do. If you're poor and you don't follow the rules, hang them. If you're rich and you don't follow the rules, good businessman. Oh, this is America.
So let's bring in Niall Gardner. He is
Fox and Friends, my favorite.
Margaret Thatcher. Good morning to you, Niall.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to see you.
Great to see you. What's the reaction there in the UK, and what is your reaction being so close to the royal family?
Yeah, well, firstly, thanks for having me on the show. And what an earthquake event, actually. Firstly, I think that it's right that Andrew face accountability. And my understanding is the royal family, of course, has fully cooperated here with the police inquiry. Andrew has become
Ooh, okay. Sleepy Man Bad said, Sky, if you don't vote Democrat, you're only helping Republicans. That's coercion, man. I'm not falling for that. I'm not falling for that shit anymore. I'm not falling. Well, if you don't vote for these pieces of garbage, then you're going to help those pieces of garbage. Look, man, neither one is going to help me out. Neither one is going to do anything that I care about. Neither one. But I will give you this. I would vote Democrat in like a local election, like City Hall or Congress or state legislature. But Democrat even for Congress, they're doing nothing for me. I have a Republican congressperson and 2 Democratic senators, and they all kind of suck. I think Adam Schiff is not so bad, actually, but what's he doing? If they killed Adam Schiff tomorrow, do you think I would feel bad? Like, oh my God, they killed my guy? They don't serve us. Our Congress people do not serve the people anymore. They serve their party. And this is a problem. And that happens on both sides. That happens Republicans and Democrats. They're serving their parties. And that's what the big issue is now. What does that mean when you're in power? Does that mean that the head of your party is the person you answer to? Well, when it comes to MAGA, yes. But the people in Congress are supposed to be answering to the people of their region, the people of their districts. They're not doing that. And the Democrats are surprised that the people, other senators, aren't sticking up for the other senators. Hey, I thought we were all into this together. I thought this was about the institution. It used to be that way, buddies. They used to think that the institution was hallowed, but it isn't. It's always been the party. And the Republicans have always figured that out, and the Democrats never have. And now MAGA is the cancer that ate the Republicans. There are no more Republicans. They're only this MAGA weird shit. They don't even have a platform. They just have this crazy ideology. They have no ideas, no plans, no prospects. They have concepts of plan. They can't even agree on what the problems in America are. And if you ask them what the problems are, they're like, nothing. We're all doing great. America's amazing. It's the best country in the world. Number one. They don't even think there's anything to address. A plus, A plus, 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 plus. Remember when Donald Trump said he has an A plus, 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 like he's a fucking kindergartner? And the Democrats are like, how come no one's sticking up for us? Because you're supposed to be sticking up for us, idiots. The power of the people is so massive that the way it's supposed to work, hey, we send our guys over to DC, and if they're mistreated there, we're going to kill you. So you better take care of our people over there because they're representing me. If you attack Adam Schiff, you're attacking me. How come no one feels like that today? It's because people like Adam Schiff have been serving their party too long and not the people. Same thing with Choi, my congressperson Choi. She's a Republican. She's never done a town hall. Not one in 4 years. 5 years now. Not one town hall. She doesn't answer the people. She answers it to the party. She answers to Donald Trump. And I'm supposed to vote for Democrats? Come on. Come on. Don't make me laugh. Come on.
Increasingly isolated from the royal family and
Look at this.
practically disowned.
Donald Trump's friend is going to jail. Another one.
Over the Epstein scandal.
Another one. As you think that Fox News is going to mention that Andrew was Donald Trump's really good friend?
And I think something like this is incredibly unusual. It was unprecedented, I think, in modern times in the UK. So you cannot underestimate in any way the significance of what is happening. In my view, there'll be overwhelming public support in the UK for Prince Andrew to be held to account. His association with Epstein was an absolute disgrace, a scandal. He has negatively impacted, of course, the.
Ooh, good question. Somebody says, why don't you... I don't know why you all act like this is just happening. We've been in decline since the 90s. Mr. Good Citizen, you're right. We've been in decline since the 90s. Since Reagan, right? But we've been in decline. We've been always flirting with fascism. I think the reason why it's such a big deal now is because we're having shootouts with agents, which is not federal agents. Didn't used to have shootouts in the street. We had 25 shootouts in 2025. We've killed more people in our custody than has ever happened since the birth of ICE. So in modern history, no one has really done this where we took a bunch of people and killed them. 34 people were murdered by ICE in custody. That doesn't count Renee Good and some of the other 8 people were killed, I think, in shootouts. So these types of things never really happened before. And we never really saw, even with Bill Clinton, it was like the tip of the iceberg. We kind of knew that he was up to no good, but we didn't know that he had like this whole history of rape and all this other shit was going on, the Whitewater stuff. Like that was all kind of murky. I lived through that and it was all kind of murky. The blowjob thing seemed like overblown by the Republicans. And it didn't seem like it was a big deal. And then after he left office, we found out about the rape and all the other stuff, right? All the other stuff that he did. We didn't know Bill Clinton was so bad. We knew he was no good, but we didn't know it was that bad. Well, Donald Trump, we do know is that bad. We do know he raped little girls. We do know that he was a co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein and was part of a child sex trafficking ring. We do know that he committed fraud and used funds that were not allowed to be used, campaign funds to pay off prostitutes that he, did when he had a wife that was pregnant with his child. I think maybe Barron was just born or something. She was postpartum and he was banging prostitutes at his golf club and paying them off. We do know these things now. We do know that he tried to blackmail Zelensky. We do know that he called and he tried to rig the election in 2020 by trying to come up with fake votes in Georgia. We know all these things. So it's different. I think you're right that, America's always had some corruption and some bad shit. Yeah, but we didn't always know, first of all, that it was this bad, and we didn't know what we do today. With the age of information, you can have access to so much. And now with the Epstein files, it's like it's a doozy. It's never been, it's kind of hard because it's always been bad, and I don't trust the Democrats. But it's never been this bad. Not in my life. And even before, if you think of Nixon, Nixon wasn't this bad. Nixon's rolling around in his grave right now. Nixon's about to come back. Nixon's going to come back from the dead and tell us, what the fuck? I mean, Gary Hart is probably going to shoot himself because he lost his whole career. How about John Edwards lost his whole career because he slept with a woman? Gary Hart because he took a picture with a girl on a boat? These people lost their careers. Al Franken lost his career because as a comedian, he took a naughty picture with another comedian. Yeah, I mean, it's always been bad, but this bad?
Yeah, the image of the royal family.
I mean, we got the royal family going to jail. We got members of the royal family going to jail. We have Norwegian royal family members saying that they won't be allowed to be queen. Stuff like this. We've got all over the world. Keir Starmer might have to resign because he's associated with someone who's he's not even in the Epstein files, but he's associated with someone who is in the Epstein files. Donald Trump, all of his friends are in the Epstein files. He's in the Epstein files more than Jesus is in the Bible. No accountability? I think it shows that if you took America in for a checkup, it'd be like, no, this empire's terminal. If you don't do something really, you got to quit smoking or you're going to die. This country's about to die. And MAGA's smoking a pack a day.
And he should fully be held to account and face all charges that may be laid against him. And I think this latest action will have very strong public support. And also, the reality is the British monarchy has really washed its hands of Prince.
We're talking about voting in the chat. Listen, I think everyone should vote as part of their civic duty. If you don't vote, then don't complain when you have zero democracy. Right now, voting, I think, is, it's like praying. It's like praying. Prayer works, right? You just pray, and if things will happen. So go ahead and vote. I mean, practice your civic duty. You need to keep it up because if you don't, at least work to have some shreds of democracy, even if it's just going to be the scraps off of their table, then you won't know what to do when we actually have democracy. If there ever is a revolution and you actually requires you to do your civic duty, then you're not going to know what to do. So go vote. Vote. I'm going to vote. I'm just probably not going to vote for a Democrat in another presidential election for as long as I live. I find it very unlikely that I will be voting Democrat in another election for the president. Does that make sense? I mean, and if the Democrats have the nerve to run somebody over 65 years old, I might vote Republican just as a protest vote because fuck you assholes for making me have to choose between two 80-year-olds. I'm not going to choose between two 80-year-olds, okay? Jesus. I mean, even that, people want to joke about Kamala Harris was so bad. She was 60 when she ran. 60. Donald Trump was 78. What the hell does an 80-year-old know about what it's like to be me? About my property tax, about my HOA bills going up, about all the shit that I'm getting nickeled and dimed over here as an American. You think this 80-year-old billionaire knows anything about that? No. A 60-year-old, maybe.
Andrew, who has been, I think, a huge embarrassment to the royal family, to Great Britain, and he should, face whatever charges he faces there. And I think that justice must be served. No one is above the law, and that includes royalty as well.
So now, is that typical? Forgive my ignorance, but I guess some of us are always under impression, at least in the United States, that royals were untouchable. Is it because?
Well, yeah, in the United States, because we're fucking idiots, we think, well, he's not a royal anymore. They took away his title.
His titles were removed now. That opens the door for him to be charged in this way?
Well, I mean, the reality is that no one is untouchable in terms of the law in the UK, and that includes members of the...
In the UK. In America, we got plenty of people that are untouchable by the law. For some reason, Elon Musk is wanted in France. If he lands in France, they're going to arrest his ass. Elon Musk and Benjamin Netanyahu are not allowed in France because if they show up, they're going to nab him. But in America, both are A-OK. Netanyahu was just here. He was just hanging out with the president. Elon Musk, he's walking around free as a bird. We're giving him more money, more government contracts. Mr. Musk, would you like more money? Let's give you more of the taxpayers' money. We love giving Elon Musk money. The devil always shits on the biggest pile. And by golly, we're going to give that mofo more money until the day he dies. We can't wait to give Elon Musk more money. Meanwhile, if he lands in France, he's going to jail. I mean, holy shit. Wanted for what? Are you serious? For child pornography. You guys aren't watching? Yes, the French stormed the Twitter offices in France because he's got a robot. We all wanted a robot to do our dishes and shit, drive our cars. He invited a robot to disseminate and create and disseminate child pornography. So the French, they don't like it. We are okay with child pornography in America. MAGA hates kids. MAGA hates kids. But in France, they want to protect children. So Elon Musk has a warrant out for his arrest there. You look like a broke Elon Musk. I am. Thank you very much. Elon Musk is the richest person who ever lived, and he spent a lot of money trying to look like me. He got hair implants, you know. He got a penis implant to get my big, you know, he had to get a penis implant. He had a lot of gender-affirming care. He got his teeth implant. I've never had a cavity. He's had his teeth implanted. He got a jaw implant. Donald Trump has had, no, sorry, not Donald Trump, but Donald Trump also has had lots of gender-affirming care. But Elon Musk has had tons of surgery. The richest man who ever lived keeps on trying to look like me. I think it's great. They want to protect them while protecting rapists. That's right. That's it. They want to protect them while protecting rapists. MAGA wants to protect rapists and pedophiles. That's right. Well said, sir. Well said, sir. But if you go to France, Benjamin Netanyahu, you're going to get arrested. If you go to France, Elon Musk, you're going to get arrested. But here, you can hang out with the president. We love you here.
Royal family. I think that the fact that Andrew has been increasingly sidelined from the royal family meant that he was increasingly likely, I think, to face some kind of criminal charge. There's no doubt about it, and we're seeing that happening now. In my view, the king moved at a very early stage, actually, to distance himself from Andrew, actually. And Andrew was, in many respects, I mean, I'm practically, thrown out of the royal family in many respects over this. Actually, he's been completely sidelined, isolated, and so this.
I feel like on Fox News, they just love billionaires so much they just can't believe. Oh, Prince Andrew, he must be innocent. Well, the photos of him over an unconscious little girl, that's completely normal.
This latest development, I think, makes a lot of sense with him now being, potentially charged by the.
Show the pictures. I guarantee you, they're not going to show you the pictures of Andrew and Trump. And Trump said he didn't know him. Trump said, I have no idea who. Prince who? Prince who? Turns out they knew each other very well. Hundreds of pictures of Donald Trump and Prince Andrew. Hundreds of pictures of Donald Trump and Prince Andrew all throughout the years. I didn't know him, never met him. Fucking liar. And you guys still believe him. He was friends with this guy and he lied to you. Now the question would be, why would he lie? Why does Donald Trump keep lying? He said he never knew. He was never on the plane. Turns out he was on the plane many times. He was on Lolita Express. Turns out that he had sex with Melania for the first time on Lolita Express. And he said to everybody, I never knew Jeffrey Epstein. I never was on the plane. Why would you lie? I want to know, why would you lie about being on that plane? RFK Jr. didn't lie about it. Why would you lie? Please, could someone explain to me why Donald Trump would lie? Because you know that that's at least true, right? That he lied about being on the plane, and now there is a shitload of evidence saying he was on that plane many times with Jeffrey Epstein. Why would he lie?
Now we have some breaking news, some stunning news out of London. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the former Prince Andrew, has been arrested.
On ABC Disney Channel, let's see if Disney reports it any differently than Fox.
In connection with his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to go straight to our foreign correspondent, James Longman.
Hi, George. Yes, extraordinary news out of the UK this morning. The former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, has this morning been arrested on the Sandringham estate where he was living after having been removed, of course, from the home he was living in Windsor. The Thames Valley Police, the police here in the UK, put out a statement. They haven't named him specifically, but they are saying a man in his 60s has been arrested. As part of the investigation, they say we have today
a man in his 60s.
Arrested a man in his 60s from Norfolk on suspicion of misconduct in public office and are carrying out searches at addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk. They say the man remains in police custody at this time. They are not, like I say, naming Andrew, but we know that it is him.
Man, if they execute this mother, they don't have execution in England, but man, are you going to be satiated by anything less than execution, anything less than wood chipper for all of these pedophiles? I'm against the death penalty. But even I can understand the feeling that people get about pedophiles. Like, I'm not going to cry if they kill this guy. Would you cry if they killed a pedophile? I'm not going to cry. I don't cry when pedophiles die. Not at all. Castration. All right, that's one. Castration still, I think, would fall under cruel and unusual punishment. But they don't have the Constitution in England. Why not? Why not? Like, would you make you feel bad? Or would anything less make you feel like justice had been served? That's the other problem.
This pertains to emails, we believe, that were published recently in the most recent Epstein files published by the Department of Justice, which seem to suggest, they allege that Andrew was forwarding emails to Jeffrey Epstein whilst he was trade envoy here in the UK. Now, as a public official, that is misconduct. That is what the police are alleging. That's the charges that they presumably are bringing to him if they do indeed charge him. He is under arrest and remains in custody for that. We will wait and see what further details they are yet to give us. But, as trade envoy, he spent more than 10 years.
Sneak one in. They got a lot of pictures. One of the most photographed men in the world. Let's get a picture of him and Donald Trump. There's lots of pictures of them together. Let's do it, ABC. Don't let me down.
He's traveling around the world on behalf of the British government to kind of foment relationships with other countries to better Britain's kind of economic outlook, if you like. That was seen as a member of the royal family could do this. His status would provide Britain with that kind of heft on the world.
Oh, if I'm a soldier, you could trust me. I'm a soldier.
On stage. But the emails from the Department of Justice suggest that when he was in these conversations in places like Singapore, Hong Kong, I've got a list here in front of me, other countries that he went to, he would then have these kind of confidential documents in these emails, and then it looks like he was forwarding them on to Jeffrey Epstein, another one here from Vietnam, another from China. So if you look at the date on some of these emails as well, that is what is interesting. One of them here in front of me from 2010. Of course, that's well after.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get him on the idea that he, like an insider trading thing, because that was the other thing that a lot of these world leaders were doing for Jeffrey Epstein. They were feeding him information so that he can make better investment opportunities. So these billionaires, they get together and they know shit that you and I don't know, and they do insider trading together so that they can short sell each other's stock and shit like that so that they get rich no matter what. Win or lose, they still make money. Pretty insane, right? Of course they do that. That's something I guess, makes perfect sense. Get him on that, sure. Forget about all the little girls that he raped. Get him on the insider trading stuff. Perfect.
Jeffrey Epstein had already faced charges for soliciting sex from a minor. So that goes to the heart of this entire issue around Andrew and Epstein. The relationship that he had with that convicted sex offender went far beyond the time which he said that he had broken all contact with him.
Great question. I love this question. Locked and loaded 9867. Also, why aren't we criminally charging the parents of these young girls? Good question. Well, first of all, a lot of these young girls were taken as immigrants. A lot of them, their immigration status is questionable, and the parents just didn't have any power. They didn't. It's hard to find them, and they had no. It's not like they consented. They were threatened, or the girls were taken, or for whatever reason, they ended up in somebody else's custody. That's something that happened a lot. A lot of these girls, they just didn't have, they're orphaned by the system. Not because their parents orphaned them, but because they were undocumented. A lot of these people, these little girls, they didn't have the proper documentation. They were from countries like Slovenia, where Melania's from, but also like Mexico and South America. A lot of these girls were not just working class American girls like you're hearing about in Palm Beach, right? Those girls were also, though, you had parents, right? So why not criminally charge the parents? Well, the parents had no way of knowing that the billionaires were going to rape their daughters, did they? I mean, they're poor, and the daughters are getting paid money for giving massages. Some of them even worked at Mar-a-Lago, like Giuffre. She worked at Mar-a-Lago and was recruited from Mar-a-Lago because the resorts were funneling girls who they could. The way these systems work, they prey on the vulnerable, the ones that not necessarily have attentive parents or don't have any kind of anyone to look out for them. That's who ends up in these sex rings. Holding the parents accountable is like, I don't know. It's like holding if someone stole my gun and then robbed a liquor store, I guess you could hold me accountable, but it wouldn't make as much sense as holding the person who robbed the liquor store accountable, right? You get it? It's the person who's committing the crime that we want to incarcerate, the one we want to catch. The parents of the children are victims. They didn't want their children doing this. They didn't make any money off of this. What are you going to charge them for? Neglect? Negligence? This is America. Both parents have 2 jobs. Some of these parents, they got 3 jobs. Some of these parents are in jail. Neglect? What are you going to charge them with? They didn't, unless they sold these girls to Donald Trump, but that's not what happens, right? These girls end up in things like the Victoria's Secret model tryouts. And then people like Brunel and Wexler, they end up going, oh, well, you want to be a Victoria's Secret model, do you, little girl? Well, why don't you come over here? We got a party where you're going to meet a lot of rich guys that are going to help you out. They all can help you out with your career. That's how that starts. That's why Victoria's Secret's involved. That's why Miss Teen USA is involved. That's why Mar-a-Lago's involved. Hey, you're so beautiful. You know what? I got a party we're throwing. All the billionaires are going to be there. If you really do something nice for my billionaire friends, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a little money so you can go. We'll give a little spending money, a little powder room money they used to call it in the old days. We'll give you a little powder room money and you just come to the party. No pressure. But I'm going to give you money and just be really nice to these guys. That's all. Just be really nice to them because they might help you out with your career. That's how it starts. It's just pimping. They're just pimps. They're just old, disgusting pimps. So blaming the parents are victims too, usually.
Home might remember the disastrous interview he gave in 2019 to the BBC, where he said that he had traveled to the United States, to New York, to sever his ties with Jeffrey Epstein, that he was there to basically explain to him that he no longer wanted to be in communication with him.
Yeah, exactly. You got some pretty oh, you're so beautiful. You know what? You could really go far. You could really go far. Why don't you come to the party? Oh, you can't get there? Don't worry. I'm going to send a car, and I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you $500. But make sure you smile. Make sure you take care of the guys, all right? But here's $500. Make sure you take care of them. And then once you're there, they turn on the pressure. Then you meet Ghislaine Maxwell and the other girls who have already been swept up into this pyramid. And then what they did, there's the other thing, they would give some of the girls that were kind of more indoctrinated, they would give them money to go recruit other girls. Hey, bring a friend next time. Here's $500. Tell your friends to come to the party. But make sure she knows how to take care of the guys. That's how pimping works. This ain't some new game. It's an old game. They call it the oldest profession. Men exploiting women for sex. Selling women for sex. It's no different than what we do to all the other animals on Earth. It's just a form of slavery.
Emails from the Department of Justice suggest that was not true, that he basically lied about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein in that interview. He has always denied, we should say, any wrongdoing when it comes to the allegations about sex trafficking. Virginia Giuffre, of course, the individual who alleged that she was sex trafficked by Epstein for sex with Andrew, he has denied that.
Virginia Giuffre, who was recruited at Mar-a-Lago. No one should ever say the word Virginia Giuffre. They're like, well, Virginia Giuffre said that Donald Trump was innocent. No, she just didn't mention him in her book for whatever reason. And then she killed herself when she said she would never kill herself. She said if she ever turns up dead, it wasn't suicide. And then she's dead from suicide. Unbelievable. But hey, everyone believes that she killed herself, right? Virginia Giuffre, she did it to herself, right? Right? She did it to herself? She was recruited at Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump's not involved, though, everybody. No, not at all. Not at all.
strenuously. We haven't had comment from him or the palace on these latest allegations about emails to Jeffrey Epstein in his position as trade envoy. But one imagines that at some point today, Buckingham Palace will have to release some kind of statement. They are yet to comment. But we are in the extraordinary situation where the brother of the king has been arrested. To my mind, that has never happened in the modern history.
There she is with Virginia Giuffre, I think, and Ghislaine Maxwell there in the back. There's young Andrew. He was about that old when he met Donald Trump. That's about the time period he was hanging out with Donald. There's lots of pictures of him and Donald Trump. I'm kind of disappointed that ABC isn't going to show any photos of him and Donald Trump, because there are many.
Of the royal family. Certainly, this has shaken this country. It's been a long time coming. I think many people would look at this and say Andrew should have faced justice a long time ago. Many others will say, well, this is a shock today to find that he's been arrested in this way.
It was shocking to all of us, no question about that, James. Let me bring that to Robert Jobson, our royal contributor. James just said it. To his memory, it's never happened in the modern royal family. Do you have any sense that anything like this has ever happened before?
No, they've just had minor road traffic incidents that Princess Anne was arrested over a dog. No, this is truly historic. This is seismic, George. I mean, this has serious implications for the monarchy in this country. The reality is this man still is in line to the succession. But for a moment of quirk of fate, he could have been the man who was the king. This is really, shocking beyond belief. The police on royal estates, the fact that on his 66th birthday, no less, he's been arrested. He's now going to have to give evidence, have to give a report be interviewed under caution. So that, this is now getting to a very serious stage. This, of course, has nothing to do with the Epstein and the sex trafficking side of things. This is purely to do with the envoy.
Right, and releasing this sensitive classified information. Forgive me if this is an uninformed.
They're going to get him on the envoy so that he doesn't have to say anything about his brother, who's probably also in it. That's what that is. They're not going to get him on the Jeffrey Epstein thing. They'll get him on this, oh, well, he gave secret information to somebody. Yeah, Virginia, as far as she knew, Donald Trump was at all the weird sex parties, but she never saw him do anything wrong. That's all she said. He was at all the weird sex. It's the same story as Donald Trump was at all the Roy Cohn gay orgies, but no one ever saw him do anything. But he was always at the gay orgies. Like, there's rumors about him at Studio 54 doing lines of coke off of about young men's erections, like doing lines of coke off of men's erections at Studio 54. But at the Roy Cohn parties, the giant gay orgies he used to throw, his best friend, Roy Cohn, Donald Trump was always there, but no one ever saw him do anything wrong. No one ever saw him do anything untoward. How odd. But he was always there. No one doubts that he was with Jeffrey Epstein. He was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. He was on the plane. He met Melania on the plane. That Jeffrey Epstein slept with Melania before Donald Trump. But no one ever saw him do anything wrong. Huh. But he was always there. Here's the thing. If you're always there, you're a criminal. Like, you ever seen The Sopranos? Like, they hang out, like, there's Tony Soprano and there's all the other dudes that hang out with Tony Soprano. They're all also committing crimes. When the cops come, the FBI comes, they take all of them because they're all guilty of something. Maybe they're not all murdering, but they're all doing bad shit and they all know about each other's crimes. Donald Trump said he didn't know Jeffrey Epstein. Never heard of him. How strange. He said he didn't know Prince Andrew. There's pictures of him and Prince Andrew throughout the years, many pictures of him with Prince Andrew. Said he didn't know him. Never met him. Never been on the plane. Turns out he was. Why would you lie?
The U.S. military is prepared to strike Iran as early as this weekend. Sources
Don't worry, we're all going to forget about this weekend when we kill Iranians.
are telling CNN. But President Trump, who has privately argued for and against strikes, has yet to make a final decision on what to do. This comes amid a significant U.S. military buildup in the region with another aircraft carrier strike group on the way. And Iran bracing for possible strikes as new satellite images show rapid fortification at several Iranian nuclear facilities with concrete and large amounts of soil being used to bury key sites. Out front now, Seth Jones, former advisor to the commanding general of U.S. Special Operations.
Not soil. Do you know what you could do with soil? We got to kill some Iranians. You can't do that with soil.
Forces in Afghanistan. So, Seth, the military is ready to go, clearly, or they're very close to being so. There are significant assets in the region with this other aircraft carrier strike group on the way. Do you think it is more likely than not that the
Let the system collapse? Well, I mean, it's not like we're going to have a choice. The system's collapsing. Comrade William, the problem with, Comrade, as you know, the problem with just letting it collapse is that the people who end up in charge are the oligarchs charging us all tolls because so many of us are idiots that continue to believe in this ridiculous monetary system, this ridiculous system of trade. So we end up in the same position, except it's worse if we just let it collapse. We got to do something, or we have a bloodbath. But even if we do like a French Revolution style bloodbath, don't forget they ended up with Napoleon because of that bloodbath. So no matter what, you can't just let it collapse. You have to either make it fly or make it fall faster. And you got to choose. Right now, people who are on the fence are bent over the fence and are being taken advantage of with no lubrication from Donald Trump and his tiny mushroom penis. That's what's happening. If you're on the fence, you're bent over it. But you can't just let the system collapse because the people who are in charge will just stay in charge. They'll just have more power. You have to teach it to fly or teach it to fall faster. And you got to choose which one you want to be. Thanks for the comment. I really like that comment. The only way to make it fall faster is every citizen of the United States wakes up and unites as one. Completely agree, Comrade William. Welcome, Red Syndicate. I think you might have found a friend. Although I'm not a communist, I'm more of an anti-authoritarian anarchist. I believe in leaderless society. But, there's a lot of overlap with the anarcho-commies, But I don't like all the tankies, I don't like all them tankies. I'm not a big fan of communism because I think it belittles the contribution of the individual and the sanctity of the individual. I think the individual is so important because I'm American. But, I think we should have a leaderless society. Or if we have leaders, they're directly elected. They're elected via direct democracy, and we keep it kind of small. Maybe just the states. Maybe every state should be its own country. I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with that. Love it. All right. Thanks, everyone, for being here. My name is Skyjack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator and free speech and critical thinking advocate. I'm on team the people, so let it collapse. Even though I wouldn't get elected, I would try to run for our country. I already have ideas to save it. Well, comrade, go for it. Leaderless society? Yes. Wake up to the idea. I know it sounds crazy, right? I know it sounds crazy, but you know what really sounds crazy? Giving all your money to billionaires and hoping that they're going to save the day and look out for you. That's way crazier to think that these pedophiles are going to look out for you. Let's just give them more money. One day they'll be nice to us. That's crazy. That is bonkers, insane, squirrel nuts, zippers, crazy.
U.S. will attack Iran.
Well, Brianna, the fact that we've got now 2 carrier strike groups that will be available in the region, and those are costly deployments. And so I think without a breakthrough in diplomatic negotiations, which we have not seen, that I do think that we're seeing a higher risk of the U.S. conducting strikes. And of course, that then leads to this question about what's the U.S. objective here. I suspect that the U.S. objective is probably going to be limited to things like nuclear facilities, potentially.
Yeah. We're just going to kill the nuclear. We're just going to kill the nukes. So that's what we're going to do. No one's allowed to have nukes but us. Don't worry. We're going to do that. I love everyone talking about, that's crazy, not having leaders. Be your own leader. You don't have faith in yourself. Be your own leader. You don't need a daddy. You don't need a daddy. Grow up. Be your own leader. Be your own person. Choose your own adventure. You don't need somebody telling you what to do, where to go, how to be, who to love, who to fuck. You don't need someone telling you how to do shit. You don't need that. No. You don't need someone else to determine the value of your labor. You can determine the value of your labor. That's it. You do not need some guru, some cult leader. You don't need it. No. There are lots of examples of like proto-anarchist movements, tribal councils and things like that, where we could actually organize. You could have organization without leaders. You can have temporary leaders for certain tasks. Like if you're going to, install the plumbing of a house, you can have a guy who's the best plumber and you're like, all right, for this task, you're the leader. But just because you're good at plumbing doesn't make you good at everything else. Just like Donald Trump, just because you're good at ripping off people in New York City doesn't make you a good president. That's a moronic thing. Americans' fascination with business people and thinking that that has anything to do with governance. It's a sickness. It's an illness. It truly is derangement. And we've done it several times. We think, oh, well, they're a good lawyer, so they must be a good diplomat, so they must be a good leader for our country. Or they're a good soldier, so they must be good for our country. Let's make them president. Oh, they're a good businessman. That's like the last 40 years. Oh, you're a good businessman. That must mean that you're good for government, even though government and business have very little in common. Their goals are diametrically opposed, but sure, it's a dumb idea. Stupid.
Islamic Revolutionary. Donald Trump's problem with trying to be an autocrat continues. And polling shows he's having trouble here. He's sagging at 39%. The immigration outrage is part of that. The LA Times reports all of this taking a toll, with crashing trust in our elections, concerns about misuse of ICE and other federal agents. 30%.
I see people have a problem with what I just said about government. Let's just, there we go. The bottom line. Government and business have two very different goals. First of all, everyone knows what the goal of business is, right? It's profit. It's to do everything with as little as possible so that you can make money and give money to your shareholders. It's an entirely different idea than government. Government is we put our resources together so that we're able to accomplish bigger things collectively. So, like, for example, we want to build the interstate highway system. Now, forget about the motives to build it, but we want to build an interstate highway system. Well, we don't build it for profit. We build it for efficiency and service. We're trying to just serve the people. We don't really care how much money it costs, except that we'd like to spend as little as possible, sure, but more importantly, we want it to work. We want it to work. We're not willing to kind of cheapo it through so that people crash on it. So there's a bunch of potholes in it or something. We have to maintain it. And so we have to collect taxes from everybody, and we try to build it so that it mostly works, and we maintain it, and we try to make sure that people don't die on it. We patrol it so no one's committing crimes on it. We patrol it so if someone's broken down on it, we can clear it so people can use it. It tends to be a matter of national security to have a working interstate highway system, because if shit goes bad, you need to have an interstate highway system that isn't overgrown. And even if you're in a poor state like Missouri, you have to have a decent interstate highway system. So if you'd have to move, I don't know, a missile from North Carolina to Nevada, you could do it because you got to pass through Missouri and the roads work. You don't do it for profit. You do it to serve the people because it's our money. We take our money, we put it together, we try to get shit done. It's an entirely different thing than business. Business, they try to build something as cheaply as possible, pay people as little as possible, and sell it for as much as possible in order to make money for the rich, the oligarchs, the investors, the people who really gave nothing except for money. They have no inherent value. They contributed nothing except for money. You see the difference? And if something's bad, like the widget that they brought to market, if something doesn't work, well, fuck it. It doesn't matter as long as people are buying it. Does it kill people? Yeah, sure. Lots of times corporations have killed people because they brought a bad product to market. Lots and lots of, there's many times where that's happened. But it doesn't matter because that wasn't the goal. The goal was to make money. The goal wasn't to make a good product, because the invisible hand of capitalism doesn't really work. It's not like we had a choice. The widget, this is what we got. So you buy it. And the rich keep getting rich. It doesn't matter if that widget kills you. They don't give a shit. See the difference? Government and corporate life are they're completely opposite. The problem today is, and this is a marker of fascism, is that when the goals of government and the goals of the corporation become so close that they're so closely aligned, they're indiscernible, so that they're in cahoots, and you are left out in the cold. So the government is supposed to be regulating the corporation so that the corporation, even though against the corporation's instinct, is serving the people. But if they're unchecked, they will not serve the people. They just will serve their shareholders. But if they're paying the government, the government's paying them. They're paying the government, the government's paying them. The people are left out in the cold, and that's fascism. When corporate and government align, that you can't tell them apart. And today you can't tell them apart. Elon Musk's fortune, most of it came from the taxpayer. Most of it came from you. And you're like, well, he's a self-made man. He's not a self-made man. That's our money. He's got our money. The money that he has is ours. Money is only a measuring system for the labor. That's what money is. Money is the measuring, is the yardstick of labor. And so in order for him to have so much, that means the people who are doing the labor, who are actually contributing, aren't being paid fairly for their contributions. He's being paid unduly for his meager contributions. Fascism. It's just classic fascism.
Percent of voters think that immigration officials might be at polling locations, including a larger share of minority Americans, and that matters because the belief.
And I see still people look. I don't know if people notice, but independent, it says independent right here. Independent people like Dems, Republicans, Dems. Look, man, they're both at fault. What don't you understand about this channel? I see Tom V1234. Are you stupid or something? Like, you come here a lot. You know that this channel is not pro-Democrat. This channel is pro wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up and stop supporting these parties because they don't support you. We have a uniparty. They are there to keep the corporations and oligarchs in control. You every 4 years you get to vote between corporatists and oligarchy. Corporatism and oligarchy. Those are your choices in America. And you guys are like, Dems though, Republicans though. You guys are arguing about Coke and Diet Coke while Mr. Coca-Cola rapes your daughters.
46% say of perfectly lawful Hispanic American and Latino American voters that ICE could be there, could be a reason to skip, which goes to the propaganda war that's also being waged, what is sometimes called, depending on the situation, voter suppression. Here is also what Trump is saying.
Why would you want mail-in ballots if you know it's corrupt? It's a corrupt system. We're the only country in the world
Donald Trump has always voted with mail-in ballots, by the way. It's hilarious. Like,
that has
fucking
this
hypocrite.
system of mail-in ballots. Think of it. The only country in the world that has this system of mail-in ballots.
It's not true. Lots of countries do mail-in ballots.
Because they cheat.
Fact check, false. This, along with the fear that Bannon and others are putting out about ICE agents roaming voter.
Donald Trump is lying?
Polling locations may be this effort to distort everything or to undermine trust in mail voting. There are entire states that do only vote by mail. President's claim that it is, quote, corrupt is not backed up by the experience in states, and Donald Trump himself has netted many, many votes for him through the mail.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we have the pictures of the East Wing Ballroom. You can see that going up. Turns out allies on the board are approving the project, rejecting concerns about the size of this building. There's also an appointment of an assistant to the panel in charge of reviewing the plans, which is coming out of Trump's team. And if you look past the White House, Trump has directed his Air Force to repaint a VIP fleet in his preferred palette while putting up pictures and posters and renamings all over the place in the federal government, something the New York Times recently said was more akin to what you see in dictatorships than democracies. We're joined now by former White House attorney in the first Trump administration, Ty Cobb. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
What do you see here as important to signal the noise? And this attack on the midterms is, in your view, propaganda, trying to distort who turns out, or also getting ready to do something?
So I think if we go to 30,000 feet and look at all the pieces, keep in mind Trump recently said that it was time to nationalize elections. He articulated publicly that he thought the federal government should interfere in 15 jurisdictions or more. Steve Bannon promised that ICE would be out in droves at key precincts and in key states, and that Trump even went so far as to suggest at one point that we should forget about elections in 2026. Now, the White House, with regard to the latter statement, said that was a joke, but it's not a joke. I mean, this is all intended to desensitize America and to discredit voting, and it's
And that's the thing. We will not have a free and fair election in 2026. It only takes 15 precincts for them to steal the election. Don't you worry. You will not have a fair and free election in 2026. That's what's happening. Get used to the idea. Are you going to do anything about it? Are you going to do anything about it, comrades? You going to do anything about it, fellow Americans? When you have no free and fair election, how will all these mag turds that are in my chat right now cope when 15 districts are nationalized, when ICE agents are used as his private military force to subdue the vote? What will you say then? Right now, you'll call me a fearmonger, and you called me a fearmonger last year when I said this was going to happen. I've been predicting this. I said it was going to be 12. Now they're saying 15. But I was right. 12 districts is what I said. 15 districts, Donald Trump is saying, can't vote. Can't vote unless he's in charge of the voting. You can't vote unless Donald Trump's in charge of the voting. Man, you couldn't write it. And these guys believe it. Look at this guy. Mark Roth hates America. Trump, Trump, Trump on ice, ice, ice. Democrat, bye, 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 Democrat. Like, this is what we get. All these bootlickers, man. It really is remarkable.
A potential Social Security shakeup could impact your road to retirement. The Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office is projecting that the main Social Security trust fund is expected to run dry in 2032. The CBO saying retirees could see their monthly checks reduced in just 6 years' time. And here to help make sense of all this in this economy, we have Alex Jaquez, who's a chief policy.
There you go. I paid my whole life to Social Security, and it only took a little while. Now Donald Trump says he's not going to pay it. We're not going to get paid.
In advocacy at Groundwork Collaborative. Alex, thank you so much for the time. But I want to start with the question that's on so many Americans' minds right now. How did we get here?
It's a great question, Alex, and thanks for having me. The Social Security Trust Fund is funded by payroll taxes. They're the taxes that we pay on every paycheck. It is not funded out of the general revenue.
Kraft, you know that we're already Israel's rent-a-cop. What do you mean if we bomb Iran? We already bombed Iran. You mean if we bomb them more? Like, we're gonna bomb Iran. We do not take all the gas. Like, let me ask you this. How about this? Let's say I take you to the strip club and we put all the gas in the car. We take some money out of the bank so we have some cash because, you don't want to pay the fees for that ATM in there. You don't want to use the strip club ATM. So we go to the ATM and we get a bunch of money and we put gas in the car and we get all the way over there, right? Now we're in the parking lot and we're like, should we go in? Won't our wives be upset? I mean, should we go in? I mean, we put the gas in the car. We drove an hour here. We got dressed up. We got the cash in our pocket. Should we go into the strip club? We shouldn't, right? Like, we shouldn't do it. It's such a dirty business. Let's not go. Let's not do it. Should we? Well, we're already in the parking lot and we got the money. We're all dressed up. Should we go? Well, we're already here. That's what happens when America puts aircraft carriers off the coast of your country, okay? They're all there, all dressed up, ready to go. The military, they shine all their little buttons. They shine their shoes. They get all ready. They're going, row, 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 row. They're yelling at each other. They're getting all frothy mouthed. They're like, oh, row, 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 hoorah, row, 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 hoorah, devil dog, hoorah, row, row, hooah, 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 hooah. They always got their own, like I did. One's Marines, the other one's Army, hoorah, 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 hoorah. They always make these noises, like apes. And they're off the coast of your country in an aircraft carrier. All the jets are fueled and ready to go. We brought all these bombs, man. We got these bombs, baby. Should we do it? We know we shouldn't. People are going to die. We're bombing Iran. That's happening. We are now Israel's rent-a-cop. That's what we are. Why do you support Iran? This is how stupid people are. Because I'm against war, somebody says, are you for Iran? I don't support Iran, but I don't think they're that different from us. They're not that different from us. I think America should maybe mind its own fucking business when Iran. They're not bothering us. What did Iran do to us? What did Iran do to us? We already killed one of their generals, Soleimani. We already killed one of their generals. We already bombed their nuclear facilities, supposedly. We obliterated it. Well, if we obliterated it, then why the fuck do we got to go back? Why do you support Iran? I don't support Iran. I don't support any country. Any government that is operating by threat of violence. So I ask you, how different are we from Iran? What makes us so different?
Like the rest of the economy, basically.
I heard that in Iran, they got a great retirement. But in America, in 2032, they're saying Social Security checks will be reduced. So all that money I gave my whole life, too bad.
And so we can't run a deficit, which means that when the Social Security Trust Fund runs dry, which again is 1 year earlier in 2032 than was projected last year, according to the CBO report on the budget and outlook that comes out every year, then payments have to be curtailed. And so that'll be an immediate 7% payment cut in 2032, and then an average 28% benefit drop from 2033 onward. And basically, the issue is that more people are getting older and retiring than people who are coming in and working. And so that is a lopsided issue with the Social Security Trust Fund that we've seen coming for decades, and policymakers have yet to address.
Well, okay, so for retirees right now, what do they need to do to plan for this looming 2032 date?
Of course, if they're able,
what they've got to do, they've got to put their head between their knees and try to kiss their asses goodbye. Try to kiss your own ass goodbye. Make sure you invest in non-perishable items and then eat dog food, maybe. Dog food's pretty cheap. I mean, you're not going to have any money. And you know what's funny? You know, I'll be all right. I'll be okay. Even though I'm pissed because I paid into my Social Security and I won't get any of my money back. And the reason why is because Elon Musk, in the first 5 minutes of every year, he caps out on his Social Security. He doesn't pay his fair share. You and I pay a higher percentage of our paycheck to Social Security than Elon Musk. He caps out. I wonder why they did that for the rich. Why are the rich allowed to get away with paying a lower percentage of their paychecks to Social Security? Shouldn't he be paying a huge amount? No. He pays roughly the same amount as I do. 5 minutes a year he works, and all of a sudden he just doesn't have to work. He just wakes up on January 1st. He's already paid his Social Security cap out. It's already capped. Me, I pay my whole life. Funny how that works, isn't it? But hey, I'm gonna be all right. All you people living in, bumfuck America, you're fucked, man. You guys are fucked. I'll be okay. I live in California. I'll be fine. You guys, and you're the ones that voted for Donald Trump. You'll love him. You'll love him, don't you? You'll love it when he puts it in. You love it when he puts it in. That little penis of his. Man.
5 young adults are facing charges now, accused of firing guns on an abandoned property, forcing people living nearby to duck and cover. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. A forward police surveillance camera caught some of the shooting. It helped police find the vehicle and then make the arrest. Fox 4's David Santandri has more on the case and what we know tonight. David.
Well, Steve, I spoke off camera with about half a dozen people living in that neighborhood, and frankly, they're just sick and tired of all this random gunfire from behind their homes that they say is just becoming all too common.
And these guys were obviously out doing reckless things.
Video shows 5 young men
just firing weapons in the middle of the night,
aimlessly shooting guns behind a Fort Worth neighborhood on Super Bowl Sunday.
As you can see in the video, you can see their faces very clearly.
The camera capturing video of the shooting belongs to Fort Worth Police Department, connected to its real-time crime center. Police posted the footage to Facebook this weekend, along with body camera footage of the arrests.
Walk backwards, take a step.
They're out there thinking it's for fun, that they're just going to be out here shooting in the air, but those bullets come down and they end up somewhere.
I think that the story is a little bit lost here. What the fuck? Well, where were these cameras? Why are there cameras everywhere in America? Like, okay, so the kids shouldn't be able to shoot their guns. Okay, fine. But cameras everywhere? America's no better than North Korea at this point. Are we we just got cameras everywhere now? Everyone's okay with this? Why is this okay?
So right now we are driving down Yuma Street in Fort Worth. This is a dead-end road. It goes into a cul-de-sac, and police tell us that this area is somewhat of a hot spot for crime, and it's quite common to see young people coming back here to get into a whole lot of things, sometimes shooting off guns or
where there's nothing out there
or other illegal activity.
So we had several citizens that called in saying that they were in the area and they could hear the bullets pass by them.
One neighbor who did not want to speak on camera showed Fox 4 where a bullet struck the front windshield of his truck. Several neighbors called 911 saying bullets were passing by their heads.
Maybe the cops should stand around and see it, patrol.
Time Crime Center obtained a license plate for the vehicle the suspects were in.
They relayed that information to the officers that were in the area, and those officers were able to detain them safely and take them into custody.
The 5 men, ages 18 to 19, each face multiple charges. Police hope this story and cameras in the area deter criminals from making this spot a hangout.
It appears that they...
This is so funny to me. Don't worry, America. You're all being surveilled. Everything is going to be okay. Look at this. We caught some bad kids. So that gives us license to videotape you everywhere you go. Perfectly acceptable, right? Now you are safer because we caught these young people with guns shooting at nothing. Yes, they did. No one was hurt. There was only minor property damage, but that is enough of a reason for us to put more cameras up. We need more cameras. Down where I live, they're putting a camera on a on a mountain, on a big hill, really, and it's going to surveil the ocean for immigrants. And San Clemente, which is funny because San Clemente, they were like super anti-government during COVID. They're like didn't want to wear masks and the whole thing. They was famous for it. It was a big deal. And now they're like, yeah, we can't wait to be the first place in California with a surveillance tower. And so now they're putting up a surveillance tower. The federal government will operate it, even though the people of San Clemente went to the city hall and said, please don't do this. Overwhelmingly, it was like 50 people showed up against and only 4 people showed up for. But the federal government is now building a giant tower in San Clemente that can not just surveil San Clemente, but people of the entire area. They can take video of you doing anything, anytime. Because America, we love being in a police state. Because after all, they might catch kids doing kid shit that they've been doing since the beginning of time. Since guns were invented, kids have been shooting guns and doing shit. But hey, we caught them. We caught them. So that's a good reason for it.
We're just out trying to shoot to the air, which is very dangerous because those bullets
Very
can be lost.
dangerous.
They can end up in somebody's home, in somebody's car, somebody walking by.
Some of those charges range from deadly conduct to tampering with evidence. Some good news, however, is that just not
tampering with evidence?
here anyone was actually injured by those shots. Steve, back to you.
Right.
No one was injured. But that's okay, because we are now going to have surveillance everywhere in America. Get used to this idea, man. We're going to see more and more of this shit. It's going to be worse and worse and worse. And we're not going to be able to do anything about it. Welcome to the surveillance state. Thank you, everybody. You're going to have a great time. Minority Report, pre-crime. That's what it's going to be, yeah. Yeah. I wear a body cam regularly. Comes in handy. I have a body cam. You have a body cam? I have a body cam. When I go out on my adventures, I usually have a body cam, yeah. This has come in handy. Cops come up, especially in places where cops don't wear body cams. I'm like, hey, where's your body cam? They go, I don't have one. I'm like, okay, well, let me just make sure that mine is on. Do you mind? Great. Can I have your badge number, please? Cool. I'm willing to comply with any lawful commands, officer. Please allow us to have a conversation that is mutually beneficial and polite. And all of a sudden, when they're on camera, they're so polite. Cops are so polite when you got a camera in their face. It's amazing. The conversation's entirely different than when they don't have a camera on them. But that's what they're figuring. If you have a camera on you all the time, that's how you're going to act. The free American. You're going to act exactly the way they want you to act. You can't do shit in this country. I mean, I'm thinking about maybe I should be I should wear a mask everywhere I go. I'm going to wear a mask everywhere I go just because I don't want to be videotaped all the time. Now, okay, well, the car was registered to me in my name, but who's to say who was driving? I mean, I can't tell who that person is. I mean, that person's as tall as I am, but I don't know. Right now, I don't know if you guys caught on the Super Bowl, they had an ad for Ring where they can search for your dog. they could find your dog if you opt in. They could just turn on all the Ring cameras and find your dog with the Ring cameras. Huh, that's a strange technology. I wonder what it was developed for. Do you think they developed it to find dogs, to find Fido? Do you think that why they did it? Is that why the Ring cameras have that recognition software built into them? That's so amazing. They just wanted to help you find Rex and Fido and Spot. What an amazing thing. Could it be used for anything bad, right? No. Ooh, yes. Any comments on the school shooting in Canada and hockey shooting in U.S.? Well, the school shooting in Canada, man, I'm not really sure about that one. I've been looking at it, but I don't like to comment on the school shootings anymore. I end up getting demonetized and stuff. But Canada, of course, they've got issues. They've got guns. You're going to have things like that sometimes if you don't do anything about mental health in your country. And even though they have more opportunities for that, they have far fewer shootings than we have. But there's only 30 million people too. So I don't know. But per capita, they have less of a problem than we do. And the hockey shooting, last time I read anything about that, he shot his wife and his kid. So it seems like it was a shooting. It wasn't like a mass murder thing. He shot two people that he knew. It was a family thing. It was just a public killing. And he was dressed differently. So I'm thinking, man, maybe it was a disguise that the person was doing so that he wouldn't be noticed, so that he could kill his wife and kid. I'm not really sure. But the ice hockey thing seems like probably just a run-of-the-mill murder just happened in a spectacular fashion. So I don't know. There's not much to talk about when it comes to those things, to those two things, those two incidents. What do you think about them? You can damn sure fire on an intruder. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, everyone in America, if you're American, you should have a gun. One is a necessity. You don't need a collection. You don't have to be a weirdo about it, but one is a necessity, and you need to train with it. You need to learn how to use it. Not all police officers are corrupt. Okay, sure. But every police officer is complicit in violence because they hide behind their blue wall of silence. They're not turning in each other. So they're obviously corrupt to some level. I guess you would say not all police officers are equally corrupt. They're all a little corrupt because every cop that I've ever known has seen some shit and none of them come forward. I talked to lots of cops in my life, and they've all seen some shit that they disagreed with. And none of them turned any of their brothers in arms in. Not one. But yeah, M's not what meant for you. Well, it's all meant for me. Come on now. Yeah, 2A, baby. Yeah. Yeah, one is good. You only need one is a necessity. The Second Amendment, I don't understand these idiot liberals, these libtards that are just like, well, I'm against guns. Yeah, okay. What the fuck's that? All right. I could be against guns too, but I don't want to be in a sea of assholes who all have guns and I'm the only one. Like, I'm sorry, I live in America. Be against guns. Go ahead, be against guns. But in the meantime, get yourself a gun and learn how to use it. Being against guns doesn't mean that you got to be a sucker and you got to be there just waiting. And I'm sorry, I have people I love. I don't know what happened with people like Nick Fuentes and these guys saying it's gay to love women. It's fucking crazy. But if you have someone that you love, I feel like you should take steps to protect those who you love. Some people love objects more than people. Not me. I'm probably not going to kill you if you wanted to steal something from me. Maybe just on principle, but probably not. I'd like to think that in the heat of the battle, I'd be like, it's not worth taking a life. But if you came after someone that I love or me, and you wanted to harm someone I love or me, well, that's going to be your life that you're going to pay for that with. Sea of assholes. Well, not just criminals. I mean, it depends on what you call a criminal. I think that most MAGA people are criminals. They're accomplices after the fact to the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. Anyone calling themselves a Trump supporter today is a criminal. So yeah, I guess you could say a sea of criminals, people that would gladly take from you everything. They would take everything from you. MAGA would take everything. If it meant more power for their president, more power for their guru. They would take everything. They are literally taking everything away from many people right now. I'm not going to go lightly. Right now, they're going after brown people and black people and immigrants and people, trans people who are vulnerable. Gay people are next. Like, they've already said that the 14th Amendment won't last long in the protection of gay rights to marry who they want to marry. Stuff like that. They're working on it, you know. They're going to go after people who are labor unionists and socialists and these types. They're going to go after those people. And eventually they'll get to people like me who just got a big mouth and want to stand up for people. They'll come after me eventually. If it keeps going the way it's going, I'm on the list. And I'm not going to go easy. That's it. I'm not going to go easy. Next? No, I'm not next. No, I'm white. It'll be a while before they get to me. Don't worry. I'm white and I only have like under 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. Don't worry, I'll be all right for a while. Don't worry. But I'm one half of a mixed race couple. I have people that I love who have green cards and aren't citizens. There are people that I love who aren't completely on the right side of documentation. And I'm not going to let people take them. No way. Sorry. And if I die for something like that, I feel like that's what honor is. That's what men used to believe in. They used to believe in honor. You protect the people that you love, even if it means you might not make it. Anyway, thank you so much. He's a white man. He's last on the list. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be. But, there's some things about me that make me probably not last. I'm not going to be last on the list, but I'm on the list. Just not at the bottom. I'm not at the bottom of the list. I'm like somewhere. I'm probably in the middle of the list. But right now, they're just at the top of the list. They're going down. I'm probably like at the lower half of the middle of the list is where I'm at, I think. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nurse. And thank you to everyone who contributed to this live stream. Thank you to the channel members who always contribute. I appreciate you. And we'll see you. Oh, thank you for the coffee, Chris Pett says. Thank you. I see a lot of green names today. Thank you to all you channel members. I'm sorry. I was going to do a After Dark episode last night, but we didn't because we had my book club that I will talk about in the Afterglow. We're doing an exclusive stream right now. If you are a channel member, you will be privy to it, and we'll have lots of that going on. You're on the Epstein list? Yeah, I'm on the Epstein list. My name, I'm Bubba. I am Bubba. I was young. I was like 14 years old. I needed the money, and Donald Trump liked to suck horse cock. So they, for obvious reason, they called me Bubba. And then G-Max named her horse after me. So yes, I'm in the Epstein files. Sorry, everybody. I am Bubba. That was my nickname back then. They named the horse after me. It was a whole thing. It was a big joke for them. They thought it was funny. And, Donald Trump blew me. But I needed the money, I wasn't into it. I was just a kid, So, thanks. I appreciate you for asking that. We always want to make sure that we recognize the victims. I was just a kid back then. You're a liberal, progressive pervert. I'm not a liberal, my friend. Not a liberal. But thank you. I don't have time to explain to you what a liberal is, but I'm not one of them. Thanks, everyone, for joining. If you like critical thinking and independent thought, if you like independent media, please consider subscribing and becoming a channel member. Sky City Rebels get tons of exclusive content and extra streams. We also do a monthly guitar recital. This month is the songs of Bruce Springsteen. I'm super excited because I'm learning those songs just for you. I can't wait to share them. Illegitimate non-carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Thank you for joining me. My name is Skyjack Morgan, an independent news and culture commentator, free speech and critical thinking advocate. This is the #1 news reaction show on YouTube, The Morning Sky. We don't do a show usually on Friday unless something crazy happens, so I'll see you on Sunday for the Ethical Underground, which is our show where we get to the nitty-gritty and get really deep into different topics, that ethical concerns that come up during the week of news. This week, Diana the Vegan will be joining me. She's a comedian in New York City. It's always fun when she's around, and that's who's going to be my co-host on Sunday. And on March, the first Monday of March, I will be on Space City, Houston, FM radio at 90.1 at 7 p.m. for my radio show, Vegan World Radio. Thank you so much. You're the best. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Godspeed, rebels. Godspeed, rebels. See you in the afterglow, rebels. Yeah.
Sunrise on the horizon. Sky is blue, no denying. News with Skyjack Morgan. Bright and early new dawn. Every headline, every story. Give your morning some glory. Stay informed, stay tuned as the day greets new blue. Good morning headlines with Skyjack Morgan. Start your day just fine. Information for you, darling. With coffee in your cup, used to fill you right up. Cleansing weather on the go. inside. Catch the latest, feel the vibe. Sky will keep you well supplied. Good morning headlines. Sky Jack Morgan. Got your day just fine. Information for you, darling.
Never had one lesson.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so friggin' much.